Daniel, it's your father. I know you're busy. Just call me when you can. I have not stopped thinking about you both, not for one single day.
Sir, Madam said I shouldn't let you in.
I only want to see my children. That's all.
You people don't know what I have suffered in that marriage. He threatened to kill me. I only left to save my life. We had no idea it was this bad. And that's not all. He has another wife, other children, a whole family hiding in that city.
That man, after everything you did for him.
I now have you all to myself.
Nobody can make me look small forever. In the name of forgiveness.
Word travels fast in families. Soon, the elders summoned James to explain himself. What exactly did you do to that woman? They asked him, again and again. And James had no clean answer. Because the truth was, he genuinely did not know what he was supposed to have done. But something had started shifting in Daniel and Danielle. Too many stories no longer fit together. Daniel finally asked his mother, plainly, about the man from her shop. Sarah insisted that her relationship with the man only began after she and James had separated. That she had done nothing while still with their father. But Daniel remembered something his mother had forgotten he was old enough to notice. That same man had been regular at her shop for years,
You should not be
long
here
before
when
she and
customers
James
are
ever
around.
separated. Mom, he said, I remember him. I remember him being there before you ever left Dad. For the first time, she had no story ready. That same night, Daniel pulled out the old receipts again, proof of every transfer their father had ever sent. Line by line, date by date, the money had always been there. Only the story about it had been false. The next morning he showed the receipts to Danielle. Piece by piece, the mother they thought they knew was becoming someone else entirely. Years later, in a church office, a guilty conscience had finally caught up with the man Sarah called her spiritual leader. He picked up the phone to call the man he had helped a woman destroy in the eyes of his own children. James, the prophet said, there is something I need to confess to you. He admitted it all, that he and Sarah had told the children God revealed James as a cultic, dangerous, someone to fear. James listened with outrage. He had carried enough anger already. I forgive you, he said. But you owe that truth to my children, not to me. Not long after, the prophet sat before Daniel and Danielle, ready to undo what he had helped build. Everything your mother and I told you about your father, he said, all of it was a lie. They walked in silence, replaying years of their lives against
Don't
this new
bother
information.
asking your father for anything.
The adultery.
He hasn't sent upkeep this
the
month.
manipulation. The debts he quietly paid. The land she quietly sold.
But Daddy said on the phone he
the
sent
prophecy
money.
that was never a prophecy
Your
at
father
all.
lies a lot.
One by one,
Don't
every
mind
lie
him.
they had built their childhood around came apart. We owe him a conversation, Danielle said. A real one, this time. They agreed. It was time to see their father, not as the man they'd been told about, but as who he actually was. So they made plans to travel to him, uncertain of what they would find, but sure they needed to find out. In her big house, built on other people's money and other people's pain, Sarah sat alone. She felt the years catching up to her, but even in her regret, she could not bring herself to own her part in it. In her mind, it was still James's fault. It was always going to be someone else's fault. So she reached for the one tool that had always worked before, guilt. You children abandoned me in my old age, she said, after everything I did for you when your father left us. But her son had already seen the receipts. Already heard the prophet's confession. Mum, he said, why are you suddenly the victim here? I'm not falling for your lies anymore. For the first time, no performance could reach him. She sat with a silence entirely of her own making. Daniel and Danielle finally stood at their father's door, uncertain, but ready. James opened the door to the two people he had never stopped reaching for. They finally sat down together, receipts, confessions, and years of silence between them. He told them the truth he had carried alone for years, that his silence was never neglect. It was protection. But his silence had not protected them. It had only given someone else the room to rewrite him. For the first time in years, father and children sat in the same room, finally seeing each other clearly. It was late. But it was not too late. Dear fathers, loving your family is not enough. Build a relationship with your children. Let them know your sacrifices, your love, and your presence. Keep records while they're young. You may never need them, but if the day comes, the truth will have a voice. God bless every genuinely responsible father who continues to love even when his love is hidden by someone else's lies. Please subscribe, follow, share, like and comment your thoughts.